Welcome to Source Not Found, a show about the worst versions of your favorite things. Every other week, we explore an IP, franchise, or fandom by way of its sequels, spin-offs, and side projects. Basically anything but the source material. I'm Brandon June, and I am incredibly proud to say I defeated a master of the lethal Japanese hand-to-hand combat art of karate.
and my name is Bo Woodall, and man, I can just really relate to Martin Brody.
So we're back with more indie.
I mean, we never should have left, really.
Yeah, well, The White Witch was not quite enough to turn us away, although
it should have been
its damnedest.
Yeah, it did. This week we are covering Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, I would say AAA video game released by MachineGames in late 2024 for PC and Xbox players, and just a couple months ago.
I played it.
Yeah, what was it? Was it April of 2025 for PlayStation 5 players, which is me.
Mm-hmm.
And man alive. Yeah, it was. It was very frustrating watching everybody else play a game that I really, really wanted to play.
Yeah, I was on this shit immediately.
Yeah, I wanted to be. I really wanted to be, man. I've been looking forward to this game since it was announced. And then once we played Wolfenstein, which is also a MachineGames game, I got even more excited because I thought there were sections of that game, and we talked about it back in the episode. Please check out our Wolfenstein ep if you haven't. There are parts of that game that I thought were done absolutely brilliantly, and they've only had time to get better at what they do. So I was very excited to see what they could do with Indiana Jones.
Same. And man, what they did.
Hot damn.
What they did.
What they did indeed.
Damn. I've been very excited to talk about this one.
Yeah, me too. I rolled credits a couple weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, I think, and felt real good about it. But real fast, for those of you who haven't heard an episode where we cover a video game, we do it in 5 separate classes: narrative structure, gameplay, visuals, sound, and fun factor. Each of those we score out of 10. At the end of that, we give it a score out of 100 based on those scores. Pretty easy peasy. But that is how we cover video games on this show. Brando, anything that you want to throw out about this game before we jump into narrative structure?
No, I'm ready.
Okay, cool. Let's do it. Narrative structure.
Of narrative, yeah. What'd you give it?
A 10.
Same.
Yeah.
10 out of 10.
This was the Indiana Jones sequel that I wish would have been made.
This is the sequel we deserve.
I'm not going to toss out spoilers until a little bit later in this discussion, but I will say the end of this game made me feel the same way that I felt watching Raiders the first time. Like,
maybe we should just jump to spoilers. You brought up the ending. I mean, I don't know. Well, I wasn't planning on starting there. But
yeah, let's. The entire game is a massive undertaking. We'll wait to jump to the end, but I just had to say it felt like that magnificent, like that cinematic to me. The entire process, the ending as well.
Agreed. Yeah.
And I just have to say, and maybe this is kind of tweaking a little bit into gameplay, but I'm going to focus on narrative here. The game opens, its tutorial chapter is the intro from Raiders.
Right.
You've got fucking young Alfred Molina and everything. And it's exceptional. From there, you move into the actual mystery that surrounds this game. Indy is back at, Marshall College. And one night he wakes up and somebody has broken in and taken a mummy of a cat. And that person who took it is played by the R.I.P. Tony Todd, the great Tony Todd.
Incredible.
I think this was his last performance or second to last performance.
Yeah, I think that's right.
I think Final Destination Bloodlines was his actual last performance, but this was, I think.
Let's pretend it was this.
Yeah, it should be. It's this. So good. And from there, Indy just is like, well, shit, you can't just take my stuff. It belongs in a museum, sort of thing. And he goes on the hunt for this cat mummy, which leads him to the Vatican. And that is where the first open world sort of area of this game starts, is the Vatican.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so from the Vatican, we come to find out within the cat was a stone. We know nothing about these stones yet, but we do know that the Nazis are trying to find and collect all of these stones, and it is something based around like the mission of the Great Circle. And for those of you that are unaware of kind of anthropological or archaeological mythologies akin to the Ark of the Covenant or the Holy Grail or the Spear of Longinus or something like that, the Great Circle is this myth that all of these ancient places of worship or places of reverence, of power from different civilizations and peoples, if you draw a line through the most powerful of them or certain of them, it makes a unbroken circle around the planet, known as the Great Circle. And a couple of these are like the Pyramids of Giza, Machu Picchu. There are, I mean, those are two of the big ones that are mentioned in this game, right?
Yeah, I think I'm getting it. What you're trying to explain to me, but maybe it would help. Like, here, I have a lipstick. Could you like draw a circle and then like another ring around that circle on like a crate? That crate there behind you, and maybe that would help.
Oh, fuck, Indy. That was so fun. Oh. It was so good.
Moment, I'll wait on it, but like there are certain moments like that just wow, like 30 seconds to perfectly encapsulate this character, and like a lot of what we talked about last episode.
Yeah,
they nailed it.
Yeah,
they nailed it.
This Indy felt right. Someone did their research, and the people who wrote this game love the character. They really, really, they really, really do.
They love him, and they don't deify him, and they don't like try and smooth over or like sand away his rough edges. They just like in that moment, like, yeah, we talked about last time, like he's unfortunately a chauvinist.
Yeah.
And it's like, you are standing next to a journalist, you know her profession, and your go-to for like, let me try and explain this to her,
is borrowing her
visually.
Lipstick and drawing two fucking
not like,
circles.
Hey, that pen and notepad that you keep at all times for your journalism work. No. Do you have a lipstick on you? It's like, yeah, that is the way he would think, and the way it just like it dwells on her face, her reaction. Her raised eyebrows, like, is this fucking guy serious right now? Anyway, sorry, I know you're in the middle of a synopsis, but just that shit was awesome.
Just to go
so perfect.
Just to go with the whole like these creators don't deify him at all. Beloved patron and sorcerer Joey Bishop was over one night whenever I was playing. And I was doing some of the traversal and stuff in the game, and he stops what he was doing for a second and looks at me and takes just a sip of bourbon and goes, "Man, they really want this guy to be 40 in this game, huh?" I was like... And then I started paying it, and like, yeah, he is huffing and puffing, and he is struggling with fucking everything he's doing. That is He is an action hero in an obviously 40-year-old body that has been through some stuff.
Just every aspect of him is so well done. We're like, yeah, they accept what he is, but they don't take it to the point, which has happened with a lot of characters that have been like resurrected in recent times, or like franchises that have been continued like decades after the fact, you know, where everything is like a deconstruction of the hero, or like we really just like I don't know, there's a bit too much winking at the camera or breaking the fourth wall or getting meta with it, or just like being a little too modern in its like comedic sensibilities, or like influenced by like the MCU and stuff, where we just like degrade the power of the original character. Like they don't do that, but they don't, like, it's just the perfect balance to me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And
he's still allowed to be a hero, but a hero with, a complex hero, let's say.
Yeah.
with a multitude of aspects to him, and not all of them are great.
And they also remove one of the most problematic aspects of him, which we talked about in the White Witch episode. He is possibly romantically involved with a notably like mature woman. Like they didn't give us a 16-year-old aspiring high school newspaper journalist that he falls for. No, this is an established journalist who has a career both behind and ahead of her. And that is your romantic interest. So you get a lot of, though I will say, if I hear hey, Strombo, look at this one more fucking time, man, I was so done. Woo!
You didn't like being called Strombo?
That was fine. It was just, I am in this room looking at stuff, and she's like, hey, try this thing over here. Hey, listen. And I'm like, woman, I swear, I respect you, and I appreciate your help here. But man, I just walked in. Look at the big statue of...
Yeah, it's a little bit too much Atreus energy. Father! Look, I think if you... Shut the fuck up for a second. I just got here. It did happen. We'll talk about that in gameplay, but it wasn't so bad. Like, I don't really have that noted.
Like, I agree.
As much as like Ragnarok seemed to do it. But yeah,
so the Great Circle,
tracking Nazis as they do their occult shit,
and you have your foil in this game is his name is Voss, Voss. And he is basically what Indy would become, assumedly, what Indy would become if he was a Nazi. Like, he is an intelligent archaeologist. He's much more of a manipulator. Like, they really designed a complex villain, I thought, for this.
I think he's one of the best villains, period.
Awesome. Okay, good.
I was going to say in video games.
I was genuinely concerned initially that you were going to be like, oh, come on, this guy fucking sucked.
No, okay. Because, like, I wanted to get into, like, I was going to let you finish your story rundown, because, like, the story, unless we feel good about that, but, like, I don't know, like, the story is perfect. It's like a true adventure. We just go globetrotting, all around to these various locations, but it's so centered around these fantastic characters.
Yeah.
And, man, I don't even know where to start with this one, but since we're on the subject of Voss, like, he's got the menacing aspect of, like, what is the Raiders bespectacled dude? Arnold Tot or something like that?
Yeah, I think that's right.
It kind of recalls him a little bit at times.
He does have that mania on occasion.
Yes, but it's like that, like, pulled from that character and, like, I don't know, adhered to, like, a more, like, hulking sort of traditionally masculine sort of man. Like, he has, like, the physical prowess, and then he's got the analytical, like, intelligence to always be able to, like, very expertly just pull apart, destroy
a psyche,
like, seize upon the vulnerabilities of the psyche of whoever he's talking about, whether it's like one of his compatriots, like Gantz, or, man, like, there's a scene that I just want to, like, we could talk about this one scene in depth, and it would encapsulate, I think, just why this game is the 10 out of 10 that it is to me. But when they are in, this is in Giza, right? It is in Giza, where you, like,
you fall through the ceiling.
You drop in on Voss. Yeah. Drop in as he's, like, kind of studying the tattoos on the the giant's body.
Yeah.
And you confront him there. And you have Gina along for the ride. And
with this comes along with the fact that Gina is doing this because she's trying to find her missing sister, who is a linguistics expert,
yes.
who apparently got shanghaied by Voss.
Everyone has a good motivation for being there. I felt like compelled to be along with them on their journey.
Yep.
But it's not just like, it's not White Witch where like, oh, we have the motivating event and that's why we care about these characters. And there's really like, that's why we're following them and not really anything else. Like I cared about them as people for sure. But he starts like deconstructing Indy and he's like, it's always about a woman, isn't it? And then he follows it up with like, were you afraid of becoming a husband? A father? Oh, you were afraid of becoming your father. And he's like, in that moment, he's like so quick to just probe and seize upon, like, that is the true Nazi instinct to like, I can immediately find the vulnerable and exploit them and destroy them. Yeah. Right? Like
and then he immediately does the exact same thing
embodied
to Gina. Like, what if I were to tell you that your sister joined us willingly? And it's
yeah.
Oh, fuck, man. You can't do that. You can't say that. You can't. No. Come on, dog.
It's great as a villain, like getting it directed at you, the protagonist, but then like the way he just spreads it around or like turns it on his fellow Nazis, like Gans or whatever.
Yeah.
Nothing is quite so easy to manipulate as an insecure male. And like the way he kind of mimics I'm trying to remember because it's been a little while since I played it, but like he's doing like a gorilla impression.
Yeah, he's like doing a chimpanzee or gorilla impression.
Or chimpanzee or something. Yeah. He is the ultimate because he also like is goofy, like the karate shit.
Yeah.
You know? But like he's so self-serious about it. And he backs it up by actually kicking ass.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, he does.
It's the idea I keep coming back to where like this game, it just balances all these different things. It balances the humor. It balances a little bit of deconstruction, but it balances like the earnest love of the source material.
Yes.
And the characters. It does it all at once expertly.
Agreed. 100%. So with that scene, I'm going to hop right back into the story a little bit.
Yeah.
So basically, Indy is following the Nazis through the Vatican, through Giza, through Siam, I think. Is that where Sukhothai was?
Yeah.
I know it was like East Asia. I just couldn't remember exactly where. Following through, trying to find these like kind of mythical local artifacts that may or may not have a stone in them from different locations on the Great Circle. Come to find out, the Great Circle, and this is spoilers. Now is spoilers. Give me 3 minutes and we'll be done with spoilers, I think.
Well, you know what? I mean, I don't know.
Just spoilers
like,
moving
they might
forward.
Come up here and there.
Yeah.
Maybe.
That's a good point.
When we cover games, when we cover anything really, just like
spoilers appropriate.
We talk about things in full.
Come to find out, these stones, using the original language given by God to man, Ademic, reciting the correct words in the correct order, basically makes miniature wormholes. Like, will instantly transport you to another location on the Great Circle.
Mm-hmm.
Which was, for the end of the game, how Noah was able to get 2 of every animal. We get to see the Ark at the end of this. And the ancient protectors of the stones, these giants, one of them being Tony Todd, basically get on the Ark. And Voss tries to use the stones to take the Ark someplace so they can start transporting the Nazi war machine all around the world to conquer.
Mm-hmm.
And instead, he summons the flood, the biblical flood, a massive catastrophic storm that falls on them. And it becomes the job of the giant to get the Ark away. To where, we have no idea. He basically tells Indy and Gina to get off the boat, and he drives it into another wormhole. We have no idea where he goes.
Yeah.
And Voss gets hoisted upon his own petard. Of course he does, because that's how indie villains die.
Yeah.
And it just felt so
but before
good.
he does, we get to fight that master of karate.
Yeah.
You get to have a battle with a master of karate on top of Noah's Ark
in the middle
this,
of the biblical storm.
Right? It's that, and then the final scene gives me chills. It's so good. It's like a bit of like Casablanca in there. We're just like, we have Indy. We have the final scene of him and Gina, and they're at the plane, and he's like, I would love to make this work. They want to make it work. We as the audience want them to make it work, but we know it can't.
No, of course not.
It's 1937. The world is in chaos. We have things that we need to do separately.
Well, there's also...
And she runs off to the plane.
For me, at least, there's also Marion is a ghost over him the entire game.
Yes.
Yes. This game makes us know what I think Harrison Ford even said in an interview way back. He was like, Marion Ravenwood was Indy's true love. There were other women, but it would always come back to Marion Ravenwood. And I think this game really shines a light on that.
For sure. It's one of the first things you see after the replay of Raiders is like, it turns out it's a dream. He's been having a nightmare. But as you're running from the boulder, you have Marion's voice echoing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what he's left with when you finally wake up into the present that we wake up into in the game. But we have a character here in Gina that is, if not of the same level as Marion, damn close.
Yeah, agreed.
I would be hard pressed to choose who was my favorite. But man, and then she runs back. You get the kiss. You do get the kiss. And then she runs onto the plane, and then maybe I can meet you for that fancy dinner.
Yeah.
Or whatever the line is.
That's what it was.
And then the plane flies off, and you get the main theme, and Indy puts on his hat, and then just you're looking out across to the sunset as he walks off screen, and that's that. And I was like, I wanted to do just a standing ovation there, in front of my television. Holy shit, MachineGames, you fucking nailed it. That is one of the most satisfying. Raiders has an iconic ending. It truly does. You get to watch the Nazis fucking melt. It's glorious. And then, you get the final scene of Indy and Marion walking down the steps, and then you get, them carting the Ark in the container in the vast warehouse. And that's about as iconic as it gets. But man, I feel more in this ending than I feel in Raiders. That one leaves me with a sense of wonder and dread. This one just fills me with so much love for the characters and the journey I went on with the people in the adventure, more so than the catalytic sort of force of the arc and the narrative around it. This is an ending about Indy and Gina, and that is so satisfying.
Yeah.
It's so good. My God, it's so good. He, to the point you just brought up, one of the things they do well with Indy in this, and again, it's just perfectly balanced, is you mentioned Marion just hanging over him the entire adventure. You get it, some of the trauma, that first nightmare scene. Yeah, dude, this guy has been through some just psyche destroying horrific events in his life.
Yeah.
Serious trauma that he's going to be carrying with him forward. And it would be a mistake for the game to do too much of that, right? Because that's not an Indiana Jones adventure. But they give you a little bit of he's a human being and he's carrying these experiences with him. And yeah, that's going to weigh on him. That wears on him to have gone through some of this stuff. These are frightening events when you really think about what he's it's easy when you have the main indie theme playing. It's oh yeah, the arrows are just zipping past him. The Nazis can't seem to hit him. He's just hanging off of an airplane or a zeppelin or whatever and just running, and he's our guy, he's our adventurer. He's got the plot armor. He's going to be fine, but then he's a human. It adds a little bit of dimension and depth to his character.
I think it showcases something very, very important that we don't see in anything else involving Indiana Jones, and that is this is a man who is aware he can die at any moment. And it has taken its toll on him, and it is a constant weight around his neck. That at any moment with one of these things that he does, because it is what he does, he could mess up and die. At any time.
But he doesn't. Instead, he hangs on. You hang on a zeppelin. I remember when I got to the zeppelin, I was streaming this.
Okay, hang on. What is it with you and zeppelins, my dude?
I don't know. Wait, I would say, what is it with you not in zeppelins? Like anyone who isn't filled with just joy and wonder at this wonderful mode of transportation.
Giant,
I think it sort of encapsulates a certain
thing.
Huh?
Giant floating bomb. Yeah. What?
Yeah, I mean there is that. Well, that's why you put on your non-static slippers. It's fine.
Yeah,
it's fine. But she does not have.
Nope.
It's, I don't know, like there are certain pieces of technology that just sort of encapsulate an era, and it's,
a zeppelin
it's sort
is
of
that
like,
for that.
Man, humanity we were up there in the skies, and but it's not a piece of technology or transportation that we're really using currently. It just recalls the wonder of a past age when I don't know, we were making vast leaps in technological ability.
Right.
And I feel like the Zeppelin is just one of those things. It just fills me with wonder and joy when I see
I
one.
get it. I just had to say something.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah. I don't know. It's a thing. I was like, if we get to have a fist fight on top of a Zeppelin, this is game of the year and maybe game of the decade. We didn't get to have that fist fight. We didn't get to go full Rocketeer or whatever. But again, you get to have that fight on Noah's Ark. So
yeah,
game, I'll give it to you.
Yeah.
You did get to hang on the Zeppelin. And, oh man, just fuck me, this game is so good. We go everywhere. We are in such an adventure, right? We're in the warm interiors of the University Museum. We're in the lush, ornate Vatican. And then we're down in the, below it in catacombs.
Yeah.
We're in Giza. Oh my God, we're in war-wrecked Shanghai in a gunner on an airplane. We're hanging off the Zeppelin. We're in Sukhothai. We're in the dense jungles.
We're in the Himalayas on a frozen Nazi warship.
How did I not just mention that? You go on a fucking battleship frozen into the top of a mountain and then ride it down as it crashes down the mountain.
Yeah.
What the fuck? It's incredible. It's incredible. This is one of the true adventures of all time. I'm crazy about this game. I really am. And the whole time it's man, the characters are fun and so well acted and so complex, to the level of complexity that you'd want an adventure of this. Yes, it's not a character study drama. It is what it is. It knows it's Indiana Jones, and it is the most Indiana Jones that Indiana Jones could ever want to be. And I said I like the Giza scene that I brought up earlier encapsulates the game for me. And just to return to it briefly, you fall in, you surprise Voss, then you have Gina along with you, and then Gans comes up behind you and surprises again, and then the fight breaks out. Indy is fighting Voss. He cocks back his arm to deliver a punch and accidentally elbows Gans in the nose.
Yeah.
Who screams and staggers off. Then Gans knocks Indy out. Gina pulls out the gun. Voss tackles her. The bullet grazes Gans. Gina grabs his nose and twists. She stands up with the gun, bashes her head on a shelf, gets knocked unconscious, shoots the gun off accidentally, hits the Hitler portrait. And then you have the embrace of Voss and Gans in the aftermath after Indy and Gina have been knocked out. And they're sort of embracing in that sort of Nazi kind of the sort of homoeroticism that's always present in Nazism and fascism, with this this insistence on like the ideal Aryan male kind of shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it has that as well. Like, again, it captures like the Nazi aspects to these guys so well. And then like Indy stands up and smashes them both with a chair. And it's like the antics in that scene of like Indy is a protagonist that so often accidentally stumbles into heroicism. Like he's heroic and courageous, but a lot of like you mentioned this in our last episode, I think, sometimes his moments of revelation where he figures something out or accomplishes something is accidental. Like
Absolutely.
He actually just stumbled into the thing.
I mean,
and
this is
like that sums it up.
This was a classic example of like the Indiana Jones comedy of errors way of getting out of a situation alive. It was beautifully done. I agree. Yeah.
It's done like an indie film would do it. And it's funny. Even the way that like you find so many treasures and then like it happens in Giza where you tumble out and then like Voss is there and he just like swipes it off you and then like leaves Indy like up to his head in sand and you're like trying to blow off the scorpions. And it's like, yeah, this is Raiders. We're constantly finding the thing. And then is it Belloc?
Yeah,
right.
Belloc.
He's always just there to like, yeah, what's yours is now mine. Go ahead and hand that over here, please. Man, it's just it's its own thing. This is beautiful and fun and memorable on the strength of its own narrative. But when you follow up the franchise with something like this, that's like just so like self-referential, but like is just good on its own merits aside from the reference, like that's about as good as you would ever want a tie-in game to be. I don't even want to call it a tie-in game. It is better than most of the movies.
Yeah, agreed.
It's at least the third best movie, and maybe two. I don't know. Like I'm not up there with like the.
I don't know if I want
top two.
I don't know if I want to play that game.
I know. I don't know if I need to say that.
I would say.
Like, man,
I would say at least
consideration.
I would say at least third best. Yeah, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's move to gameplay.
Let's do it.
What did you give it?
I gave it a 9.5.
I did too.
Hell yeah. I wasn't expecting the game I got. I really wasn't. Like I thought it would be a more I actually have not played the Uncharted series.
That's what I expected.
So I can't really say.
Well, actually, I have played those, and I kind of expected something like that.
What I've seen, or just adventures of that type, or like the Tomb Raider reboots, I think I was maybe expecting more of that.
Right.
I wasn't expecting, like, it's not an M-Sim, but it's got a little bit of that energy at times. With the kind of exploration and, like, it's not like true systemic interactions, but just like, I don't know, like ways that the kind of open level allows you to like wind through like a tomb and find an opening and like here's like a room submerged with water, and if I were to like go alert these enemies and bring them over here and then like exit out the other door and throw on the like pull the lever on that generator there and fill that with electricity and take them out that way, some stuff like that, you know, like a little bit more openness.
Well, there's
to the
also
combat and exploration than I was expecting.
I think kind of with that for me comes kind of the examination of the mechanics in general. Like the way this game functions is you can play it as a shooter or a beat 'em up, but that I don't know if that's how it's intended. Especially not initially. It is very much a stealth exploration game. With some combat thrown in. Like you can find instead of your Indiana Jones outfit, you can find a Nazi uniform. Like you can find the uniform of whatever enemy is in the area, and you can sneak around. And the only way you get caught is if you find like a senior officer in that area and they catch sight of you for longer than like 5 seconds. So you can go around and just basically make your way through by virtue of being dressed like them. And in doing so, you unlock new areas that have new things. But like the character progression mechanic of this game, I thought was very, very clever. You basically get two separate in-game currencies, right? One is just money that you can use to buy certain things. But the other is finding action books through the world. And those books, like, some of them will increase your health bar by 1. Some of them will combine 2 health bars to make it like more sturdy. Some of them will make your punches hit harder, make one-handed and two-handed melee weapons more effective. Will make your weapons not break as often. Will let you carry more food or bandages or whatever. Like it's almost like a skill tree level, but it's not. It's not a full RPG skill tree like that. Like you don't have, it's not like a numerical value that you get to see go up and down and stuff like that.
It's still an action adventure game, or adventure action, I think they were calling it, right?
Yeah.
But with like a little bit of that thrown in, and you can sort of, the game will help you lean the way you're enjoying the gameplay. And
if you're willing to like do a lot of the searching and find and uncover some of the little Easter eggs and stuff like that, like it teaches you everything you need to be a successful Indiana Jones in this world. Like, did you get to all of the boxing rings?
Yeah.
Did you beat all those?
No.
I did. I worked my ass off.
Okay, well done.
Those
are tough.
It also made the Voss fight so much easier at the end.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. I don't remember how many of them I went all the way through, but at a certain point, like, okay, I'm going to leave this opponent just out there.
Yeah, I got really into the boxing mechanic in this game because it's very, very clever.
It is, and it's very rewarding, and the combat is so much more deliberate than I was expecting.
Agreed.
I was, again, like thinking like, oh, maybe you just shoot your way through stuff, maybe, and maybe you're going to crack your whip or maybe punch. I wasn't expecting to think about like my stamina and like the rhythms of combat and blocking and pushing enemies off, and like when you are in combat or trying to avoid it altogether. Like you're mentioning, it gives you a lot of different ways to approach it. And the coolest part of it all is like, these are all satisfying systems on a gameplay level, just as a game. But I always felt like Indiana Jones, because Indiana Jones does not shoot his way out of situations.
Ever.
Like, he has the revolver and he will use it. And occasionally he gets like hyper violent, but a lot of times he's punching his way out or trying to avoid it altogether. He spends a lot of time sneaking around or being in disguise.
Yeah.
Which is what I do in the game.
Yep.
And it's perfect. And guns, like you mentioned, like you could maybe shoot your way out. Like, I can see that you could maybe do that. I couldn't make it work. Every time I tried to go guns blazing, like I got fucking wrecked. Other than like a few situations,
they definitely
like,
make it
forced to
not reward. Like the reload mechanic is super clunky. I mean, just like it would, like he has to take out all the bullets and reload individual ones into his revolver because that's what he would have to do. He didn't have a speed loader in 37,
Yeah. And I like it. Like, they incentivize you to play like indie. They don't make you, but like, lean into like what this character is. This character is the one who, again, sneaks around and punches his way out. Like, he's like that movie serial adventurer of the era,
Man, I loved so much just like always having a melee weapon on hand and just absolutely going to an area where I knew there were only like 3 or 4 fascists and just being like, I could take these guys. And then just absolutely wrecking. Just going up and just absolutely wrecking their shop. And being like, okay.
Sneaking up on a fascist and then smashing him with his own acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
Very satisfying.
Especially once you get the action book that makes your weapons last longer, and then you just grab a sledgehammer and you just walk into a group of 5 or 6 people and you just start laying people out. God, it feels so good.
Those sledgehammers. It's so good. And aside from the combat, man, just the level design.
This has some of my favorite platforming I've ever done in a video game.
The platforming is good. Just the way it really, you first notice it, I think, in the Vatican, where it's so much more sprawling than you might expect at first.
Yeah.
And the way it's all interconnected, and it's got some of those great, like, these are some of my favorite moments in, like, FromSoft games, or, you know, you were, like, thinking about this door earlier. I was like, I don't know how to get in there. And then an hour and a half later, you've gone through these tombs and come up this other side of the building and come over here. And then you find a door and you unlock it and it opens. You're like, oh shit, this is the door.
Yeah.
I'm back here. I love those moments. And this had those.
Yeah.
Really clever, rewarding exploration.
Yeah.
And again, all the environments, like, just aesthetically are so good that, like, even aside from that, I would love being in the gleaming interiors of the Vatican. But Jesus, man, like, when you add that dimension to it.
Yeah.
And, like, sneaking around and avoiding enemy patrols and possibly being in disguise, but having to avoid the captain, and, you know, just using my whip to scale the side of a building, and, like, using zip lines to get from roof to roof. And my God, it's so much fun.
Yeah, it's just a good time. Now, I do want to ask, we both gave it 0.5 under 10. So I have to ask, why for you?
My thing was, I wanted to, it's not really gameplay bugs, but I wanted to throw them here because I saw what the game was going for in the other areas, and I want to reward the intent, even if it wasn't always perfectly executed. I had some bugs. You know, I have some, a little bit of that Bethesda jank from time to time. And it was mostly in, like, animations and, like, some, like, occasionally, like, knocking out an enemy and, like, their feet are cemented to the floor accidentally, and so, like, the rest of their body, like, collapses and they have, like, a 90-degree angle at their ankle.
I saw
something is very awkward
on
landing.
occasion, if I, like, jumped up to scale something, Indy's top half of his body would vanish into the wall for a second and then come back out. Like, I get, like, very minor bugs. They don't necessarily negatively impact gameplay, but after you see it so many times, you're like, all right, I get it.
Yeah. There was, I liked it, this game, like you mentioned, a little bit of the hand holding with the puzzles, but when you're by yourself, it really slows down and lets you think. Also, just like the puzzles are very good. Like, I think they're at a good level of difficulty where there's some friction there. None of them are going to have you, you know, looking for a walkthrough guide or, like, puzzling for days, like a Sierra game or a LucasArts game would.
There were one or two where I was glad I had a piece of paper next to me. Some of the weirder code ones, like that was nice to have a piece of paper, but they were good puzzles, I thought.
They were. It's not what I was complaining about in FF7 Rebirth, where, like, why put a puzzle here and then like the solution is obvious and you've already told me how to do it, and I'm just, like, following the markers and pushing things, and I'm on, like, autopilot. Like, you have to stop and think and look around and pay attention. Maybe make a note, look at, like, the cryptic markings on this elaborate mechanism you found in a tomb and move some pieces around. A lot of them are, like, actual, like, physical puzzles, like moving pieces around, gears and whatnot. And I love those. Like, that's my favorite kind of puzzle. Like, everything I need is in this room. I just need to, like, piece it together. It's not a matter of, like, oh, did you grab that thing across the map over there and know that it's supposed to slot in here? Just, like, provide me with what I need in a space and, like, have a self-contained puzzle. I find those the most satisfying. And they're really good and very fun. Like, the cogs and Sukutai, this is like a repeating puzzle, which it, like, grows in complexity as you find more of these locations. And talking about that drop in 0.5, it was a point where, like, okay, maybe I do want a little bit of modern game in this, because, like, you have to carry those cogs with you to different locations or else you won't have enough. And I don't know if this has been changed since I've played it, but you can just drop those somewhere and then have no idea where you've left them. Is that still the case?
You can't, I don't think you can drop the cogs anymore. Like, you can drop the big cogs, but the little cogs that you're supposed to collect all 10 of them. I don't think you can drop them. When I hit the drop button, it didn't drop it. It just put it back in my bag. So they may have fixed that.
Like, there was a point where I didn't have, like, I had left them somewhere. I think I went to a couple of locations. I didn't know I was supposed to take them with me. And I, like, left them behind. And then I moved on. And then I got to a point, like, I think I need more of those cogs. And it's like, I've been all over this map now. I don't even know where I left those. Like, I just got to go, like, that's on me. But again, like, I don't know, just having like a marker on the map, like, hey, your cog is here.
Yeah.
Instead of like having to maybe spend an hour boating around and just like, did I drop it in this room? No, maybe it's over here. But yeah, just letting me go into these spaces and just think for a while. And the atmosphere is so good that you just want to hang out in this tomb with your torch, listening to it crackle and like thinking on this thing. It's so good that like the little issues here and there like that. Like I also at times wondered about the perspective. I liked being in first person. I found it very immersive. But even the game occasionally is like, oh, but hey, we want you to be in third person for this. Like when you platform and you whip yourself up, like we jump into third person. And I didn't have an issue with it really, but I noticed it as like, that's kind of weird, the change in perspective, but only here and we won't let you do it elsewhere. And I don't know. I don't think I desire to play it in third person, but like, it's just, that's a 0.5 of wondering about the choice, I guess, you know, nothing major, like little things.
Yeah. Mine was two little things. The dogs. I don't know why they were there. I mean, I understand why they were there, but like,
I thought you were going to say you wanted to kill them, but
no. I
well,
like.
I can't kill the dogs. This is a.
I liked the fact.
I found.
I liked the fact
you
couldn't kill the dogs. Like that felt pretty good. Like even accidentally, you can't kill the dogs. And the fucking snake. So okay, the dogs bugged me because I didn't necessarily like their mechanic, which is a preference thing. Yeah. It's not a gameplay like problem, right? That's why it's not a full 0.5 off. Swimming to get away from the snake in Sukutai was the controls felt bad. Just in that section. I kept hitting a wall and wasn't able to surface fast enough, and I certainly couldn't get somewhere fast enough to like get out of the water so the snake didn't absolutely kill me, because you only have to fuck up once and that snake, you're done, homie.
Yeah. I get that. Yeah.
So that was a very minor, like it was a really cool cinematic moment. But after I died like the 5th time to that snake because I hit a random wall that I didn't see while I was swimming in this dark, murky water, I was a little like, oh, all right. I get it. Like the snake is going to fuck me up. But I just want to get through that hole so I don't have the snake anymore as a problem. Like just let me get to the hole.
Yeah. I get it. The game is so expansive and ambitious and tries so many things, and it definitely achieves some of those things more than others. Like it occasionally will try a little bit of like a switch up of the gameplay here, and like, okay, that's not its strong suit, but I'm glad that you went there. But then again, on that point, man, this game dabbles in horror for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
The blind giant boss, holy shit. I was not expecting that. That is genuinely creepy.
It was genuinely creepy. And I really enjoyed kicking his ass.
Yeah, it's good. You're in the dark and like you got to be quiet and not get noticed by this thing. It's like you have a pursuer enemy and a frightening one. And it's like, yeah, Indiana Jones is scary. Like not as an adult, but like I saw Raiders as a kid and it freaked me out. And Temple of Doom I saw as a kid too. I was like, yeah, at a certain age, these movies are very scary. And then even if you like watch them now, it's like, the face melting scene at the end of Raiders, that's like a Tom Savini kind of shit. Like you could see that in like a Romero film of the era. Like it's gore. It's nasty. And I love that the game went there a little bit into the darkness, the literal darkness. And yeah, man, just I wanted to give it a 10, but we're at 9.5. Just a couple little things.
Speaking of the spooky darkness, what do we think about visuals?
10.
Yeah, I did too. Absolutely.
10 out of 10.
Yeah, no question.
It's gorgeous. I've kind of talked about it already. Like just the places you go, they're all so varied
and vivid,
different from one another.
Oh my God, so vivid.
And you know how I just love to just wander around in like period environments and assets and look at all the wonderful objects on the shelves and in the interiors. And this
and there was
has
so much to see.
And incentivizes it. It gives you a camera and you need to like zoom in, slow down, and look at this wonderful, wonderful world that they have recreated for you.
Yeah, it's awesome.
But man, like going from like, I love that fucking train in Giza. I love that train.
Yeah.
Just chewing along in the distance. Oh my God. Like that, the sun-baked, like, sandy locales, the dense jungle. Again, Shanghai just, like, dropping in and just shit is exploding. And I was so excited to be there. And for a second, I was a little disappointed. Like, I kind of wanted to explore. Like, my love of China. I lived there. I love this era. Kind of wanted to get around Shanghai a little bit more. But, like...
Did you go back?
This game is... Yeah, I did. But I just meant, like...
Oh, in general. Yeah. I got you.
Like, it's not the level of expansive. It's not an expansive level to the degree of like the Vatican or
Giza
or anything, And that is one of my favorite places. But like as a set piece moment, like that's not why we're here. Like the game is paced so well, and it knows when to slow down and speed up, and just like run through the inferno, scale the building, get in the plane, man the gunner. And we're moving on. Same thing with like the battleship, right? Like we're not there too long because we're at one of those moments of high intensity in the narrative. But man, we just like a visual delight constantly.
Yeah, I think with every location having such a like massively different color palette, it made everything feel so much more vivid and immersive and there. Yes. My favorite example, and I'll just leave it at one because we're getting into this pretty deep. The market in Giza with all of like the kind of like built-in hard clay buildings with these beautiful vivid fabrics covering doorways. Just, and like a place where there's just people smoking hookah and eating dates and just kind of hanging around. God, it was just so good. Just so good. I just walked around that market for probably a good hour just trying to see everything there.
Yeah. And then aside from that, like the characters, like Harrison Ford is on screen. Like everything is at such a high level of fidelity and just so beautiful and well rendered. Perfect.
It is the closest thing that I have seen or played that there are moments where I'm like, is this live action? Like not with all of the characters all the time. Like there's that uncanny valley thing going on, but some of the scenes and some of the scenery, like it's so beautiful that it makes me go, oh, are we there? Did they just take video or something? So good. So good. Okay. Sound.
Another 10.
Yeah, me too. I'm going to be honest, I didn't expect both of us to be quite as effusive about this game. I assumed we would have one of us would have knocked some points off for something, but it hasn't happened yet.
I got nothing.
Yeah.
It's the Indiana Jones main theme is one of the greatest movie themes. And the whole soundtrack is an Indiana Jones adventure soundtrack, and it is so well acted and performed. Troy Baker is incredible as Indy, I think. Like there are moments like that certain register where he's like, "Hey kid," that kind of stuff, or like that kind of growl, and like that's Harrison coming through. A lot of times you can hear Troy Baker, but like sometimes you can't.
There are moments I genuinely thought they just got Harrison Ford. Yeah.
And the sound effects, everything was just like perfect. Like I felt like I was smashing a sledgehammer into a fascist, or like, climbing alongside of a tomb, or like the echo of the cobwebbed catacomb around me. Like I was in this world at all times.
I just like the voice actors all did so stupid good. And like, I guess they modeled the faces off of the voice actors as well. Did you notice any of this? Like, the bad priest in the Vatican.
Ventura?
Yeah. It drove me crazy because I recognized his face, and I was like, "This."
Okay.
And so I looked it up. He was the bad guy in Boondock Saints. He was also in an episode of White Collar. Like, I know this guy. I know this guy. The guy who plays Emmerich Voss, Marios Gavrias. I've never seen him before, but holy shit, he kind of looks like Voss.
Oh, wow.
Like,
Okay.
and then your good father, or the good padre, Antonio.
Antonio?
Yeah, Tony.
Oh, I love him. And the way he just dances around to this wonderful American music, this jazz. I loved him.
That guy was Mathazar in Galaxy Quest.
Oh, shit.
Like,
Okay.
I recognized these faces from TV shows and movies that I loved so much. And I'm like, did they do like full character modeling because the voices fit the face so well? Like, it was just a smart, clever thing to do with these voice actors. I thought it was really, really cool, kind of silly, like, to do that much work for that, but fuck me, it works. It's so smart. It's so smart and so clever.
I keep talking about how much I love this narrative and this adventure, and man, every performance just added to it, just made it that much better. I thought Gina was such a great character and
good.
Acted so well, and the voice acting was stellar.
The last thing I want to mention about sound on my end, at least, is something you kind of mentioned in the blind giant boss fight. When it is quiet and the only thing you hear are Indy's footsteps, his breathing, and the sound of your torch crackling, it is unnerving at times. Like, I played with the lights off in the room because I wanted to be as cinematic as possible, right? But there are times I'm like, I'm a little creeped. I'm a little creeped right now. Yeah. Like, I kind of feel like I'm in a tomb.
Should be.
And I am a claustrophobic boy. Like, this is really,
it's
really
easy to
good.
Forget how creepy these places would be. Like, to actually delve down into these tombs.
Absolutely.
By yourself. Yeah.
So good.
Oh, man. Yeah.
All right. We come to our last one. Fun factor. Mine's a 10. 10.
Yeah, this is where it takes a bit of a turn. I'm sorry. I just had to give it a 1.5.
That sounds about right.
I know I said that. Yeah, I know I said I liked all these things, but it was so... No, this is 10 out of 10. This is perfect. I had so much fun. I was constantly having fun. I don't know. I can't think of a time I wasn't having fun.
Yeah.
Maybe looking for those cogs in Sukhothai. Like, that wasn't fun. But other than that, holy shit.
Okay, so I was going to it was brought up in either gameplay or visuals, but I wanted to save it for fun factor because of it is so massively intrinsic to why I think this game is fun. The game is so perfectly fucking paced. It is a miracle that this game exists the way it exists, to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
The fact that you can go from the sprawling Vatican to the even more sprawling Giza, but then you start having moments where, like you said, high intensity or high climactic moments where you have a much smaller and more intense map, like in Shanghai or in the boat or in even the great ziggurat of Ur. Like, it breaks itself up into moments so exceptionally well that every location is burned into your mind and gives you something new to do in the game. I was never bored.
Agreed.
And I was never not having a good time.
You said
it. I just, fuck, man. God, this is... I don't know when I'll revisit this game. I mean, I know I'm going to play the DLC that comes out in September. I know that for a fact.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever will give me more time in this world, I'm in. God bless it. I hope they release a sequel, or at least MachineGames doesn't get, hardcore personnel cuts like every other video game designer in the world is right now. But
this needs a sequel. We need more of this.
We need more of this.
For sure.
This was a delightful experience for someone who absolutely I absolutely
love it.
Absolutely adores the source material.
It's one of the best games I played last year. Like, the fact that it's not number one is just indicative of like how good some of those other games were. Like, oh man, last year was Astrobot and Shadow of the Erdtree, and for me, 1000 Times Resist. But fuck me, one of my new favorite games of all time. This is a new favorite experience. It's We almost gave it 10 out of 10 on everything. This is our highest scoring game now.
Yeah, just letting you know it's a 99.
Yep. Wow, that is fair. It's the best game we've played on the show, for sure.
Agreed.
Like, Rebirth was, until now, that game, right? But that had qualifiers, right? Like, there were portions where I was not having fun. I had issues with that. Nothing here. All good.
If it's not my favorite video game experience I've had over the past several years, it is in the top 3, I think, for me.
Hell yeah. Well, we feel that way.
Oh, yeah, here we go. I am so excited. I am silently clapping my hands.
I've never done this with a game before because there's just something about the IMDb review. There's something about those IMDb reviews. You know, it's just like a certain quality of that kind of review that we find some real goofballs. And like when we've done games before and I've gone on Steam, I just can't really find anything of that level. But I was looking in the wrong place. I realized, like, if you want a goofball review, you need to go to where the goofballs hang out. Where would the goofballs leave their reviews? Maybe if you just Googled Indiana Jones and the Great Circle reviews and looked at the reviews that Google feeds you on the search results, you might find some goofballs. And I was correct.
Oh, God.
So maybe just, like, don't make too many assumptions going in, but just think about the kind of person who might leave a review of Indiana Jones and the Great Circle on, like, the Google Play Store.
Okay.
Let's start with some we loved it. Here's a 1 out of 5 from Joshua Palladino. I'd be curious to know how many people were paid to leave a great review, or people who have become so dumb and bored they accept everything. Game is full of bugs, full of broken accompanying NPCs, and it's outright boring. WTF? Limited bullets against groups of Nazis who do more than double your damage. Grab a shovel and boom, 3 hits and it's broken, leaves me face palming. Here's a sledgehammer designed for breaking up concrete all day, but hit a Nazi in the face 3 times and the sledgehammer is broken. Pfft. Yeah, it made me feel like indie.
Has he ever played a video game before? Has this guy ever played a video game before?
Just like that's the evil of a Nazi. Like, yeah, it's made for breaking up physical materials, but like when up against like just such an odious, disgusting, evil ideology, well, you know, does extra damage.
There's also the fact, for me at least, it would be Indiana Jones's luck that every weapon he picks up is 3 hits away from being broken. You know, like that seems like Indy's luck.
Here's one from Your Blah 5 months ago. 1 out of 5. 7 hours of play. Wonder why nothing comes up when people speak German. Turns out, got to put subtitles on. So, missed half the story for the last 7 hours. Oh, and every single item you can use is highlighted in bright white. What's the point in being an explorer if it's all handed to you? Uninstalled. Glad I didn't buy this crap. Hey, friend. You want to be an explorer, huh? Didn't find the subtitles option in the menu.
No, I was gonna say if you want to be a subtitle, or if you want to be an explorer, then you don't need subtitles. You should be able to speak German anyway. They're highlighting it all. They're highlighting it all in white, my guy. They're spoon feeding you the language.
Modern games, they just spoon feed you everything. Just games for babies. Literally got boggled by the fucking menus.
Yeah.
Which that's fair. I'm out of it so often. Like I miss something obvious staring me right in the face, or like can't navigate a menu. I'm with you, but okay. Luke Byers a month ago gave it a 1 out of 5. The game was actually pretty good, but you can't play the hit game Uno by Mattel. Disappointed is an understatement.
What?
I don't know. This next review is this is like the grade of negative review I usually find on Steam. We got one here on Google from Cam McLean. 3 out of 5. Gameplay and the adventure was great, but the woke emasculating theme elements killed it for me, as well as other woke signaling. Such a disappointment. Thought we were moving past that terrible ideology. What in this game is woke?
It's in the 30s, for Christ's sake.
I don't know. Again, the woke complainers are like the most annoying people on the planet, and usually just like complaining about nothing. This fucking game's woke. It wants to tell me Nazis are bad. Shit's woke.
Yeah.
Shit's woke.
Yeah, fascism bad. Woke.
All right, let's get a little more positive for this next one. From Sean. I've been PC gaming since the 80s, and yes, I've done console gaming. Yeah, I know. Get a life, Grandpa. What was I saying? 3, 2, 1, back in the room. The game rests on its laurels of the movie. I find the game boring and repetitive. Other games have done this style of game better and a while ago. Luckily, I only obtained it on Game Pass. Raid my pension pot, why don't you? Old people game too, you know. Young people think they've done everything first. No OAP discounts. Wish I had put my money on heating the house. Goddamn, where are my slippers? This damn cat smells like a polecat. What the hell he been eating? Come on now. Yeah, buddy. I guess that review wasn't that positive. I just forgot. I just simply feel positively about it.
I don't even know how to react to that one because I don't know if that person is creating a character of their own or if that's actually a human being.
They're using this Google Play review as a vehicle for a fun little narrative.
For improv.
All right, let's actually end with an actual positive. Jake Brown, 5 out of 5. This game was absolutely beautiful. They did so well in this game, it's perfect and would be everything a kid growing up watching these movies over the years would want, 100%. I developed the fattest crush on Gina, I'll be honest. But she is so beautiful, man. I pulled this just because I love the phrase, I developed the fattest crush.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, but she is so beautiful, man. The story drags you in, and having Gina and Jones's love story build up with it makes you more engaged and really makes you build emotions for these characters. Congrats. This should have been Game of the Year. This is going in my top 3 games of all time for sure. Go play this game, guys. If you ever read this, it's perfect. Jake Brown, I agree.
Except for the whole, Jake Brown being like, this is a beautiful, perfect game, but I'm going to tell you what, Gina got me rock hard.
Dude,
my
crush was getting swollen.
Fat.
Fucking fat.
Man, have you ever had a real fat crush?
Oh, man. He feels the way about Gina that I do about that biscotti. Oh, we didn't talk about the carbs in this game.
Fuck, dude, they look so good.
Dude, the munchin.
Yeah.
The sound, we should have talked about the munchin. Oh, my God. Yeah. Oh, my tummy's rumbling.
Man, I have the fattest hunger right now.
I got a hankering for donuts, starfruit, and a nice round of Uno, the hit game by Mattel.
Yeah, I guess. Wow. All right.
Play this game.
Play it and source it. Game. Honestly,
source it. Yeah. Don't source White Witch.
No. Bad time.
Source the good shit.
Bad time.
Source the good shit.
But that does it for the coverage, I think. Housekeeping stuff pretty quick, email us if you have played this game or if you haven't, or if you love Indiana Jones or you don't, at sourcenotfoundpod@gmail.com. You can find us on all the social medias, Facebook, Blue Sky, Instagram, etc. at Source Not Found or Source Not Found Podcast. You can find us on YouTube, where we have all of our episodes as well as a backlog of all of the video games that Brandon has played for this podcast on Twitch.
Including this one.
Which, Brandon, what's going on Twitch for? Is it still Hideo Kojima?
It is. We've been playing Death Stranding, Police Knots, some other fun stuff. And yeah, come on by, see what I'm playing next. Twitch.tv/LeJuneBug, link down in the show notes. Next to the link to St. Coelacanth, Jesse Jelena, crafter of our great theme song. Lots of other great music there. Go check them out. And it's that time. I'm not going to say it. It's the second episode of the month.
You almost said it.
The last one we do.
You almost said it.
Where we thank our wonderful patrons. Thank you so much to Frederick Vieberg-Warhog, Jacob Swindell, Susie Daggs, 13th Horseman, and Joey Bishop.
Friendship.
We love you guys so much. Thank you
all so much. We love you.
Joey, you got 2 mentions in this episode, so, good on you, mate.
Hell yeah.
next month, we're kind of keeping it in the Indiana Jones family, right? We are doing treasure hunters across the board.
Non-Indiana Jones treasure hunters.
Yeah. So it's like the anti-source, I guess. Like,
Sure.
very not spin-offs or anything, but pastiche, right? That's the word.
Yeah.
We're looking at treasure hunting
Works for me.
pastiches. Yeah. So come back and see us then.
Delve down in the tombs with us.
Yeah.
We kind of did it last year by accident with Sahara.
Yeah, we should have
We
just.
already started off with
Dirk Pitt by Clive Cussler.
Dirk Pitt.
And,
how could I have forgotten Dirk Pitt?
And Al Giordino, which makes me say, don't forget to check your toilets for a, hey, how are you?
Stay carbo loading. Cornettos, biscottis, milk bread,
the baklava,
milk tea bread. Oh man, stay munching.
The milk tea bread looked good. Stay munching them breads.
Mm.